Hey everyone, so I have a favourites video for you today, and this is going to be for the month of February. And first of all, can we just address my voice? I've just recovered, well, nearly recovered from a bit of a cold, so I'm a bit croaky and deep voiced at the moment, so sorry about that. But this month, when I was going through my list of favourites, because I like to keep a note of all the products that I'm liking throughout the month so I can feature them at the end, I didn't actually have anything written down at all, so it's pretty much been everything from last month's favourites video is what I've been loving this month. So the L'Oreal mascara, the Revlon matte balms, all those bits. I have gathered a few things together for you though, so these are a few new bits, a few things that I've rediscovered or have been using a lot more recently. And the first one I'll start off with is the skincare product, and this is the Garnier Micellar cleansing water, and a lot of high street brands have brought out their version of a sort of Bioderma inspired micellar water, but there was something about this one that just jumped out to me. I think it may be because it's really close to the Bioderma packaging. It's very similar except it's got a pink lid. I do really like it though. I think it's probably the best of all the lower end high street micellar waters that I've tried. So I've tried the Avène one, the Roche-Posay, and the L'Oreal one, which I really didn't like. It actually stung my eyes, that one, but this is really great, and for £4.99, which I think it is, and you do get a pretty sizable bottle there, I think it's a really great alternative if you can't get your hands on Bioderma, because we all know how tricky it is to get hold of in the UK. Not as tricky as it used to be, but still quite hard. It is brilliant at taking makeup off though. I've been using it mainly before my kind of main cleanser to take off the bulk of my makeup beforehand, and it's really good. I think it also is really good at taking off mascara and eye makeup as well. Maybe not 100% as good as the Bioderma one, because sometimes, even though all my makeup looks like it's completely gone, when I wake up it can be, you know, under my eyes a little bit, just a few little black stains, but apart from that it's a really brilliant product. Now, I think I mentioned in last month's favourites video that my skin has been going through a really dry phase. It's not necessarily dehydrated deep down, but there's a lot of dry flaky patches on the surface, and although I've been trying to incorporate exfoliators and things into my routine, there's nothing that's really fixed it. So I decided to go back to using my Hardie cleansing balm, and I still think this is probably the best cleanser I've ever tried or ever probably will try, but I kind of go through phases of trying different things, using different cleansers, but whenever I come back to this, there's just something about it that leaves my skin so plumped and nourished, and I really think it has its incredibly high cult status for a reason. It's a beautiful product, and already since using this probably for the last 2 weeks, maybe 3, my skin just feels so much more nourished and, you know, deeply hydrated. And I think even though you are taking this off because it is just a cleanser that you wash off at the end of the day, it still leaves a lot of hydration in my skin, so this has just been a saviour for me at the moment. I've also been getting really back into the Origins GinZing eye cream, and I used to use this religiously back in the day, but then I bought the Bobbi brown hydrating eye cream and that kind of took over as my favourite, but I ran out of that recently, so I got back into using this one, and especially in the mornings, which is when I mainly use it the most, it gives a really nice brightened look around your eyes. Not anything compared to what a concealer would do, but it has these slight kind of illuminating pigments in it which just helps to kind of balance out any darkness around there, and it's really quite moisturising and hydrating too. Not so much that it makes your concealer slip around or come off throughout the day, but it's just a really lovely eye cream to use in the morning. And the whole Origins GinZing range is beautiful, especially their moisturiser, which I'm not using at the moment just because it's not rich enough for me, but in the summer I'll definitely go back to that one. Now, I've been so lazy with my hair this month. I've barely picked up a heat tool, maybe a hairdryer a couple of times. I've been letting it dry naturally, just not really doing a whole lot to it, but I've kind of been liking just the sort of messy natural texture of my hair, which is kind of like straight but a little bit wavy. The only thing about it though is it is completely flat, especially at the roots. My hair just kind of goes in a triangle shape. There is no volume here whatsoever, so I do like to kind of add in a few texturizing products, and that's mainly all I've been doing. So just washing it and then leaving it, and then when it's dry putting in a texturizer. And one that I've been really liking is the Bumble Pret-a-Powder. That's the pronunciation I'm going to go with, but this is a hair powder, and whenever people say hair powders to me, or whenever I think about them, I just remember those really gritty, dirty feeling powders of maybe a few years ago, which scares me slightly because I remember using them and then having to wash my hair the same day because they just didn't sit right with me, but this is completely different. It's pretty much weightless. It's like a really fine dust, and you just sort of sprinkle it into the roots from the bottle and then massage it in, and it just adds this little bit of extra kind of texture and volume, but without feeling like you've got product in your hair. So this has been my go-to styling product recently if I just want a very kind of simple, natural textured hair. Now this one does also claim to be a dry shampoo. It's equal parts dry shampoo, style extender and volume in a pinch, and as far as that goes, I'm not sure if it's, you know, quite as good as the likes of Batiste and dry shampoos like that, but it is nice for sort of second day hair when you don't have a great deal of oil to absorb. You just want something that's slightly refreshing, and again it just makes it feel weightless. It's not like spraying a really heavy dry shampoo in which you can always feel throughout the day. So yeah, this one has been probably one of my go-to hair products of the month. I only have two makeup favourites this month. The first one is a new product that I've just discovered, and the second one is sort of an old favourite that I've rediscovered. So the first one is the Bourjois CC Cream, and CC cream and BB cream is more of a marketing ploy than anything nowadays, I think. So when I saw this I was a bit like, not another one, why are they bringing out something that's been so overdone? But so many people were actually saying good things about it, that they really like the way it looks, so I decided to give it a go, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's a really great base product. Bourjois can do no wrong when it comes to foundations. All their formulas, so Happy Light and Healthy Mix, all of those are just brilliant, and this is another really good one. So it says it has 3 pigments for colour correction, apricot for anti-fatigue, green for anti-redness and white for anti-dark spots. And as far as things like redness and dark spots go, I don't really suffer from those, so I'm not sure how well it does actually correct them. But I think for just a very kind of natural looking luminous base, it's a really brilliant one. I think it's very smoothing as well, so I've been buffing it in with my Real Techniques buffing brush, which is just my go-to application for most foundations, and as you're going it kind of just evens out any pores and things, smooths down your complexion, and it's got this nice luminous radiant finish, but it is slightly more satin, so it's not kind of wet to the touch, it's not tacky or sticky feeling, but it gives you a nice glow. So I really like it. It's been my go-to base this month. The one thing that it does really remind me of is the Gemma Kid Light as Air foundation, and you should know that I had a big moment with that at the beginning of the year when I just ran out of my last little drop of it, and I decided that I needed to find a good alternative and a good dupe for it. And actually the way this applies is so similar in the way that it does just sort of smooth everything out, but it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything too heavy, and it still has that lovely glow to it. So for fans of the Gemma Kid Light as Air that are really missing it in their life, try this one out because it's very similar, and I think this is under £10, so it's, you know, not too expensive. So the product that I've actually rediscovered this month is the Clarins Bronzing Duo, and this poor thing is so bruised and battered, it's got dents in it, I've hit pan in a few places, but I decided to start using it again. I think it was when I was filming my makeup collection video, which I'll link below if you want to go and see that I actually rediscovered it and decided to start using it again. And it's just the perfect bronzer for fair skin people like me. It just, you can't put too much of this on. It just builds up a really nice natural warmth to your skin without looking too dark or too orange, so you can kind of really layer it on. And I've been kind of trying to embrace a bit more bronze now that the sun's out a little bit more in England, and we're kind of coming into spring soon. I think it's time to bring back the bronze in my skin, so this has been a real favourite for me this month, and yeah, maybe I should buy a new one because it's looking a little bit beaten up at the moment. So those are all my favourites from the month of February, and sorry again that it was so short. I'm sure next month there'll be plenty of things to talk about, but for now I will see you all soon.